So first of all we have to take the shift knob off, and I hope this comes off quite easily because I've mounted that shift knob and it was a bit tricky because the plastic and the thread didn't exactly match. Well, what they expect, it was a cheap shift knob. Well, it came off. I hope I can screw it on. Yeah, as you can see, the threads are a bit messed up. So here, washers. Well, so this is just a piece of wood, black. I'll just pull this up. Ouch. At least that's the idea. I think I'm gonna need some tools. So you obviously shouldn't take a screwdriver or something of that sort to the thing because it will leave marks. But if you're very careful, and I'm trying to be very careful right here. Yes. Just very careful. Don't apply much pressure and let the screwdriver do the work, then you won't harm the plastic. So just like that, we have that removed. Now on the bottom here is a plug for the light. Right here is a cigarette lighter for the light ring around the cigarette lighter and for the cigarette lighter itself, and also a light bulb, which you have to remove, and then you can take this part out. So we put this away for now. Put this away for now. So here are the plugs you have to take out, and down here is usually a bit dirty, but yeah. If I have to find a place for the Arduino, I'm probably going to put it right in here or here somewhere, because there's a lot of room obviously, and it's very easy to access if you want to fix something or update something or repair something. You don't want it somewhere inside the dash where you have to take everything apart. So this is a perfect spot to put additional electronic stuff. So next we're going to remove this part over here, and this is the outside plastic trim piece, and it's just screwed in with 2 screws here on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. I think you can see that. Just with 2 screws here on the bottom, and the rest is just plastic clips, so have to be very careful again. But again, this might take a little bit of help of a screwdriver or something if you're very careful. Just like that. Now on top the whole vent assembly will come out, and on bottom the whole button assembly right here is screwed from the back. 2 screws, one right here and one right here, from the back to this plastic piece, and 1 screw on mine is already broken. As you can see here, it isn't attached anymore, but on the other side it's still attached. and I might be able to show this to you in a moment. So right here you can see the screw, and I have to get that off somehow now. Try to get that off somehow now. It's this right here. So you can't really take a screwdriver to that because it won't fit. So either you're going to try to fiddle with a screwdriver here, or you're just going to look for another tool that fits in here, which is the thing I'm going to do. You might be also able to unplug every one of those switches, but I don't want to do that for now. So I'll be back with another tool right away. So a small ratchet with a Phillips head is the tool of choice. Well, maybe it isn't a Phillips. It is a Phillips head. Yes. I'm stupid. So with that we have removed that also. But the only thing that left now is right down there. The clock has a, see that? Clock has a electrical connector on the back. Also I have a little switch in there that doesn't come with the car obviously, but that's also connected, that I have to disconnect, and then we can remove this center piece right there. So on this electrical connector right here, I've added a lot of electrical tape to stop it from sliding out the back, so I wouldn't have to take everything apart again if ever the connector comes loose. And now I can get it out. Oh, there we go. So there we have that piece, and we put that aside for now as well. So another reason why I wouldn't want to unplug all the switches is because I want this car to stay drivable, and yeah, it's still drivable like that. So that is that. Next part is a bit difficult because I don't really know where to continue with this, but obviously I have to move the camera a bit, one moment. Obviously we want to take the instrument cluster out, and to remove the instrument cluster we have to remove this plastic trim around it. We might have to remove this plastic trim, but I have no idea if that is even possible without removing the steering wheel, because it might be that the screws are in here from the front. So I'm going to remove this trim piece right here below the dash. I don't really know how to show that on camera because, well, even if I might move my seat all the way back, which I'm going to try right now, I can't fit a camera right here, and it isn't that complicated anyway. So I don't know if you can see anything, I don't think you can see much, but right here is the hood release, and the hood release is a cable that is mounted right here, and on the back of the hood release cable there's a little plastic nut, and you have to remove that. Then on this side there is a little screw right here where my finger is, that is already taken out. You have to remove that, and if you have removed both you can just pull this up like that and it's clipped into here. But if you just pull it that direction out, it'll unclip and you can remove that trim piece, which I'm going to do right now. So just like that, that thing pops out. And one thing I just forgot to mention, I'm going to show you, and I think I have to remove the camera from the tripod again. Down there, there's this bulb in the back. Moment. There you can see the bulb in the back. You have to remove that. And then this piece comes out. Here are the remnants of my Sleep PI module that I currently don't have inside the car. I've got this thing removed, and this is what it looks like. I don't think you can see anything. And right here you can see, well, you probably can't. Right here's the screw, and on the other side is a screw too. And I think if I unscrew those two screws and those two on top right there, right here and right here, okay, there are three, I can take this plastic trim piece out, and then I might be able to unscrew the instrument cluster, which also should be screwed in with some screws from this side, and I can take that out. But I really have no room on my SD card left. It's basically a minute, so I can't videotape this. Also, it's already getting a bit dark, so the image quality gets lower. So I've decided to go back in and remove some files from my SD card, because it doesn't make much sense filming half the process of removing the center console and dash, center console and instrument cluster. So here we are back. I already removed those two little screws on each side, so I have to remove the three up here. I hope they are Phillips. Yeah, I think they are. Just have to find them. I'm sorry you can't see anything, but there's no way I can put the camera up there. There's also, I can't see anything either, because I can't fit my head up there. But I think I got the screw now. No, maybe not. Might be some kind of easy screw. Maybe not. Either way, really tight, so I have to do two more. One. One more. Right in the center. I read somewhere that you should remove this plastic piece right here, otherwise it won't come out. I'm going to try if I can get it out like that, and I think it will work. Yes, that looks good. Just switch the flashes on again. Might. Yes, I think it comes out like that. Well, here is a cable also. I have to disconnect right here, where the potentiometer for the dash lights dim function is. There's a cable on back, so I'm going to detach that. Well, I don't really see, well, obviously I don't really see how this is supposed to be detached. Ah, I got it. There's a clip on the top of the... Well, I'm going to show you in a moment, but now we can take this off just like that. Perfect. Oh, there's another one. There's that little LED warning light for the alarm system. So it looks like that is screwed into place. So if I want to remove that, I have to get a little wrench or something and open that screw. But yeah, I can do that in a moment. Yeah, now we have, and I try to show that to you again, and maybe I turn on the lights right here. Don't think that might make much of a difference, but now you can see right there is a screw. On the other side right there is a screw. On top right there is a screw, and right there on top is a screw. So if I take these 4 Phillips head screws out, I'm able to remove the instrument cluster, I think, and it's supposed to have 2 plugs on the back, but I hope the cables will be long enough so I can pull this out far enough to unplug it without getting my hands somehow back in there. But we'll see in a moment. And I'm sorry, it's already getting dark outside and I can't really do anything about you not seeing much on the camera right now, but we're just going to remove the instrument cluster and then this video will be finished for now. And yes, you should disconnect the battery before removing any plugs or anything, but I'm a little bit careless. But I think before I'm going to unplug the instrument cluster, I will remove the battery lead, because I don't know if there is any kind of I don't know if there's any, if the instrument cluster is only receiving data or if it's also sending out data. If it's only receiving data, it doesn't really matter, because, well, there could things go wrong, but it's pretty unlikely. But it's also sending out data, to example the airbag control module or something like that. It could happen that if I unplug it, I short something out of some reason, and there's going to be some kind of whatever happening and the airbag will blow up, and that I really don't want, especially when I'm sitting right here, obviously. So first of all, I have to get the screw out, and it's really difficult. Trust the ratchet again, the battery is working. So 2 of 4 screws removed, 2 left to go. So the ratchet we have on the top. Yeah, there's some kind of adhesive or sticky stuff on those screws. At least it feels like it's not sticky. So this last screw is fighting me, but I have my trusty ratchet, so I should win that fight, maybe. It looks like I just won the fight. Yes, I did. Don't mind me talking stupid stuff. I'm getting a little bit annoyed, but I think I got it. Last screw. Time to remove the instrument cluster. Well, it doesn't look like it will come out without removing the plugs in the back, and it also doesn't look like it will come out with this plastic thing right here, but maybe. Well, think I'm going to get a flashlight and look from underneath there if I can see something. So I've looked behind there with a flashlight and I can't really see anything, but I can see that on this piece, plastic trim piece right behind here, the steering wheel, on the bottom there are 4 screw holes on which only 2 of them have screws in. So I'm going to try to remove that now, and maybe it'll help. Screw. Now for the other one. So right there you can see plug number 1. So plug number 2 is exactly on the opposite side to this plug. So I have to disconnect the battery now, and then I can remove this plug. Then I will tilt the dash the other way around and remove the other plug, and I think there's enough room to get it out then. So no need to remove the steering wheel, and it isn't that bad if you know how to do without removing the steering wheel. So I'm going to remove the battery right now, and so the battery is disconnected now. I'm sorry it's a bit dark in the video because the light on in the car are out now. I'm also turning on the headlights and basically anything else I can turn on. So it'll need power and it will suck any energy. So I'm turning everything on, headlights, lights on roof, ignition, so any charge left in any capacitors and things will now discharge, so the airbag doesn't blow up in my face if I remove the dash. Instrument cluster I mean, but I don't think it will explode in my face anyways, so that's just to be sure. Better safe than sorry. Yeah. I don't have any more patience, so I'm just going to remove it now. I think that should be fine. So first clip right there. Nothing exploded yet. Wiggle that thing back inside. Well, just like that, and get the other side out. Alright, so I went on the internet and looked at a picture of the plug that I was not able to get out, and then I took some pliers and did what you're not supposed to do and put the plug out with the pliers, because I knew how it looked and where I can put pliers on it without destroying it. So the instrument cluster is now unplugged. I'm holding a flashlight and you can see something because it's really dark in here, at least for a camera. I can see fine, but the camera can't, so I'm trying to get that instrument cluster out now whilst holding a flashlight. Not ideal, but I think this will just come out now. Well, I might have to take 2 hands to that, so maybe not. I'm going to put the flashlight right here for a moment doesn't really light. Well, I could put the flashlight right there so you get at least a little bit of light. And now how to get this thing out of here. Now the basic idea is to tilt it, I think, and well, the steering wheel that is in the way, it's everything else that is in the way. Ah, well, out to that side, that might just work. Now it's the turn light switch that's in the way. Also the steering wheel is in the way. But I think I found a way right through the steering wheel. Just like that. Perfect. So, one removed instrument cluster. That is how it looks on the back. I hope I didn't destroy anything in the process. I'm going to make sure, obviously, before I put it back in. And the main reason why I took this out is because we want to splice some wires from the wires that go to the plugs, because we want to grab some of the signals. So yes, and look at that, it even says made in USA right there. So I think that's it for that video. That is how to get the instrument cluster and the centerpiece and center console out of a 4-probe 2nd generation. I don't think it matters if it's a European or US model or base or whatever model. It should be the same for all of them. And yes, that's how you do it without removing the steering wheel. Just turn it and tilt it until you can grab it right through the steering wheel. And obviously move the steering wheel all the way down, and everything else you saw in the video already. So thank you very much for watching. Maybe this video did even help you. That is, if you have a 1993 to 1998 Ford Probe that you want to remove the dash from. And if not, thank you very much for watching anyways. And stay tuned for more videos regarding this project, why we have removed the center console right now. And I don't know that I'm having this out. It would be the perfect time to exchange all these bulbs in the back for some LEDs. I don't mind the nice greenish 90s 80s look of the dash, but maybe some white or blue or red LEDs would look a little bit better. But I have to think about that, so that is that for now. Have a wonderful day.